Eagles win by 30. Right now, people are calling you FanDuel, DraftKings, all those things, and going, give me the Eagles. Give me I got it. I'm sure they're going to win now.
The one and only Nostradamus. He's here with us. Angelo Cataldi. How you doing, Angie?
I'm good, Dan, but I think you're being way, way too harsh. You know how many coaches in the last few years have attempted to stop Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown? No one's done it as well as Patullo so far. Patullo's been remarkable at it. They never throw the ball over 10 yards. They never throw the ball over 10 yards. And then he said, I had not heard that. He said, what were we supposed to do? They were blitzing. You're an offensive coordinator. There's a million things you can do, knucklehead. Oh, my God. Look, they're 2-0. Dan, they're 2-0. Nobody's going to say any of this. But wait until you get burned by the fact that your defense is not playing over its head right now. That in both of the victories, the Eagles won those games because of drop balls. Both games. CeeDee Lamb dropped 3 of them, and then Travis Kelce blew the game. He catches the ball. Eagles are going to lose that game. So, and that's not something that any coach is doing. That's just the luck of the draw. You get a break once in a while. But my God in heaven, this guy, honestly, I had a pretty strong suspicion that Kevin Patullo had no idea what he was doing. He has exceeded my wildest expectations on his ineptitude.
How about this, Angelo? They're 29th in total offense. They're 31st in passing now. Now again, September's a liar's month,
right?
So it's you're hanging in there because it's only 8 quarters. So, but I'm looking at the trends here. We got a couple more now. We got the Rams, and also you got the Buccaneers, and then Denver on the flip side of this going into this weekend. My question, and here's the prime example of what makes this guy bad. So they said Grant Calcaterra missed the block on a key play. Wait a minute. Angelo, get this. Okay. Well, then why would you call a play with a guy that you know can't block? Why would you put that guy in a position when you know his deficiency is he can't block? And if he's an integral part of that play's success, this is Brady 101. Don't call that play while he's out there. Call another play. I mean, this is situational play calling. Angelo, he's one of the worst play callers right now, and you give the keys to a guy who's a Super Bowl MVP. You're not developing Jalen Hurts.
No. Jalen Hurts, Dan, has saved their ass.
Yes.
Saved their ass. Because, first of all, how many times in 2 games has he dropped back, seen an open receiver hit him? No, they're not scheming it. There's no schemes that are getting these great receivers open. So at that point, guess what? It's all on Jalen. The pocket's collapsing. He's got to run. He's got to throw the ball away. He's done that so well and not turn that ball over that they found ways to win the first 2 games. But none of it was a result of good play calling. And keep this in mind. The plan B, when they realize now that Patullo doesn't know what he's doing, plan B is Nick Sirianni. Name your poison. No, it's seriously, Dad. The whole concept that they would take this elite offense and put him in the hands of a novice because he was the Bobo of the head coach it's unimaginable. They wouldn't let Doug Peterson do it, but somehow they thought this was good. Now they're 2-0. Nobody's upset in Philadelphia, Dan. None of the talk show guys are even saying any of this stuff. Then no one's mentioned on a talk show this week, to my knowledge, that the Eagles are 29th in offense. No, because they're 2-0. Hey, we're winning. What's the difference? And all I can say is this. As bad as Kevin Patullo has been in the first 2 games calling plays, Nick Fangio, how's he doing that? He's got half a new defense.
He's insane great.
He lost his best defensive player after the first play of the opening game because of a spit incident, and he still found a way to win the 2 games. And these were both wins by the defense to me. They were defensive wins. Well, how did he do that with half of a new unit? He's coaching out of his mind right now. And he near the end, they let Thornton open twice. First one overthrown, and then Mahomes hit him for the touchdown near the end of the game. How long can he do that?
How about this, Angelo? And this goes to what you say about today's Philly media. They asked the right question to Vic this morning. Vic, why did you feel you had to bring more pressure? Why did you feel you had to pressure him more than you did in the Super Bowl? You know what the answer is? Because I trusted those guys more in the Super Bowl when I didn't have to bring pressure. I don't believe in Kansas City's wideouts. Some dude named Thornton, Juju Smith-Schuster, he's not afraid of them. He did not want Mahomes to have a clean pocket to sit back there and find a Dory Jackson. You're right. This guy here is just worth the price of admission, and whatever they're paying him, they have to double. But I would ask you then, why are they micromanaging the one side of the ball so much on offense, and they're letting Vic just coach? Because that side of the ball, this is all his recipe. The other side of the ball, you've got Nick Sirianni, you've got Bobo Patullo, you've got Howie and all these guys trying to figure out what's best for this and that.
Right.
Is it just because clearly they're spending all the money on that side of the ball?
Wow. No, it's because they know they have a good coach on defense. They don't have a good coach on offense. You understand? Damn. They got an elite offensive line. They got maybe the best receiving core in the history of the franchise.
They do.
They've got Saquon Barkley, and they can't get points on the board. There's only one reason for that. They're not coaching them right. They're not game planning right. They're not calling the plays right. They've basically taken this explosive offense and shut it down.
They've neutered it.
They've neutered it. That's exactly. And Kellen Moore, now he's in New Orleans. He's got to start from scratch. Kellen Moore knew 10 times more than the people are in these first 2 games. He just did. Kansas City gave up 27 to the Chargers. They're not that good at defense. They're okay. No. They got a good defensive coordinator. Spagnuolo's a good defensive coordinator.
Four Super Bowls. Four Super Bowl wins.
It's going to happen. I was wrong about the 5 wins. Continue to crush me on that. You have every reason to. But I saw Bobo Patullo coming from a mile away. Wow. This guy is awful. He is just bad.
Now, you help me out here.
Yeah.
Did Doug Peterson fight for his assistant coaches?
Very much.
Will Nick fight for Kevin Patullo? If Kevin Patullo, how many more weeks do you think this goes on before somebody starts saying, hey, listen, the training wheel coordinator, this guy has to be removed from this thing here. And then before you know it, or will they run through the tape like they did with Brian Johnson?
Well, is Matt Patricia available? If he's still around?
Oh, my God.
First of all, Nick Sirianni will fight for one person. Nick Sirianni. He's walking around with a legendary record. Nick's not but Nick knows enough. Nick knows what's going on. He's not real bright, but he knows that this play calling's been putrid. He's acknowledged they got to get the ball downfield more than they have, because all they're doing is encouraging defenses to tighten it up, closing in, make it harder and harder for Barkley because they're not throwing downfield. No, this situation, Nick is going to do whatever the bosses want him to do. If they're halfway through the season, if Patullo continues to dial up these high school plays that he's calling, I don't know what he's doing, they will tell him what they want to do, and he will say, yes, sir.
When does Jalen Hurts say this? Enough is enough. Enough is enough of this. When when are we going to hear Jalen Hurts do this finally as a leader? Because the great quarterbacks, how many times you see Brady throwing tablets on the sidelines when people aren't doing the right thing? I mean, when does Hurts start to stand up and say, enough?
Well, here's the thing. What I'm worried about is that if he gets hurt, the season's over, because he is totally saved him for the first 2 games. I don't know how many more games he's going to be able to do that. You're asking the best. He has not done anything like that in 6 years in the NFL. He has not stepped forward, broke from the ranks, and went, I'm just not getting the right plays. I'm not. But internally, it's got to come. It's got to come, because he's had a different offensive coordinator every year, right? At some point, he's got to say, or maybe his father, who's a coach, says to him, Jalen, they're killing you over there. You won them a Super Bowl. You got them to 2 of them. And they can't bring you in a guy that knows how to call plays. So, that's.
What is that? Is that ego? Is that the organization's ego post Super Bowl that you would even go? I mean, Angelo, when you hire a talk show host for a city like Philly, you're hoping that you're going to get someone who knows how to go around a wheel, and you're hoping a guy knows how to do a show. You don't hire a guy out of Villanova and go, hey, here's the morning gig at WIP. You put the guy in like Medford, Oregon. You don't put him here in Philadelphia. Why would they turn around and go, here, just because he was sitting at the dinner table with the adults? And you go, well, he's been here 4 years. I asked this question to you and Howard and everybody. So wait, he was passed over twice. I see why he was passed over twice.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's why? The other thing. They had chances to put this guy in charge, and they didn't do it. They're in a situation right now where if you said to me, you can come out of retirement and ask one question of the hierarchy of the Philadelphia Eagles, it would be this. This is the real question. Why wouldn't you allow Doug Peterson, who won you a Super Bowl, to name his own assistants, but you are allowing Nick Sirianni to do it? What's so different between these 2 coaches that you give the power to Sirianni that you wouldn't give to Peterson? Because there's no one's been able to answer that. No one's even addressed it. But you had 2 guys. The Eagles have won 2 Super Bowls of their history. Sirianni won 1 and Peterson won 1, and they got treated totally differently by the people in charge. Why? Did Sirianni kiss ass better? Did he tell them both they're such, Peterson went in there and said, no, Press Taylor, he's going to be my offensive quarterback, blah, blah, blah. And they went, no, he's not. And he wasn't diplomatic enough. He didn't schmooze it enough. That may be it. I don't know, Dan. I'm not inside those meetings, but I'd love to have the answer to that question.
It just doesn't make sense why. I mean, like, it's almost like, check it out. They did this twice. After they went to the Super Bowl, and Shane Steichen, by the way, I don't think there's any coincidence that Shane Steichen, I had to click on and go, is that Daniel Jones?
Yeah.
How is that guy
How
playing
amazing
like
is that?
I mean, and did you hear?
Yeah.
We got a guy in art. We got John McMullen goes like this. Well, Shane finally got the quarterback that will run his system. And I'm like, whoa, how much influence do you think Nick now goes like this? Well, because Brian Johnson was also in the building, I have more influence on the play calling. And now that my buddy's in the room, I have more influence on the play calling now.
Yeah. Yes.
Do you think that allows him more autonomy to be involved in the game plan?
100%. But I thought he was 3 games in his rookie year as a head coach of the Eagles, and he realized he was a lousy play caller.
He was 2-4.
And he abdicated, right? Whatever it is. And he gave up the power, right?
Yeah.
Now he wants some of it back. Isn't that asking for trouble? Why don't you bring in the next Kellen Moore? There's plenty of great offensive minds out there that aren't head coaches that would love an opportunity to call plays for that offense with all that talent. That'd be a dream job for somebody. And you brought in a guy who is basically, you passed over a couple of times and is basically only there because of his bond with the head coach. Makes no sense to me. But I've seen it so many times. It never works. It won't work.
will they be smart like they were a year ago where they went like this? Holy cow, that's not working. Kellen Moore threw the ball 46 times with Spencer Rattler. Like you said, they're starting over in New Orleans.
Yeah.
There's no talent down there.
No.
But he threw the ball 46 times and they had Alvin Kamara. That's what that guy is. Moore was so smart to go like this. I got Barkley. I mean, even Barkley looks like New York Giants Barkley right now. Will they be smart enough to go like this, Angelo? Hey, man, we got to go back to doing what our bread and butter is. We got to go back to running the ball and being more efficient at what we do best. Because it looks like to me like they're trying the same crap that they did a year ago when they were 2-2. They want this high-powered offense, and they're not.
Dan, A.J. Brown is averaging per catch 5.8 yards.
It's crazy.
A.J. Brown. Honestly, if I were A.J. Brown, I'd get a lawyer. I'd sue the Eagles. A.J. Brown gets 6 yards before he breaks into his fast stride. He's just taking a couple of steps to get those 6 yards, and that's all he's getting. Even Devontae's under 10 yards a catch, and both of them they're in single numbers after 2 games. The targets are way down. They targeted A.J. Brown one time in the opening game. In the whole game, Dan, one time. You got one of the top receivers, and you didn't even throw the ball to him. No, it's fun to talk about because no one in Philadelphia is doing it. No, they're not doing it. They're not doing it. Do you understand? They're going, hey, 2-0, man. This Sirianni. Reuben Frank is already starting a campaign to get Sirianni in the Hall of Fame. Oh, let me give you some more stats on how unbelievable he is. Unfortunately, Reuben, the games are on TV and I see them, and this is no coaching masterpiece I'm watching.
He's not.
Right? You got Hurts saving you and Fangio saving you. That's what's happening right now. That's why you're 2-0. And they dropped 4 balls.
He's not even George Seifert. George Seifert was 108-35, 2 Super Bowls, and they fired him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a product. Angelo, I heard that too, because he comes on our network, and I heard Reuben, and I heard and I'm going like, that guy is not a Hall of Fame. You're comparing him to George Allen and John Madden. I go.
Look, I don't normally. Well, sometimes I rip media people. If I were Dave Spadaro, who is basically the glorified PR guy of the Eagles, I'd be watching my back for Reuben Frank, because I've never seen a media guy kiss ass the way Reuben Frank has on NBC Sports Philadelphia. I've never seen it. It's next level stuff. It's mind-boggling. Honestly, it's and he'll say, oh, yeah? Well, Nick Sirianni's 50-17. He's unbelievable. Oh, you go, yeah, Rube, you watching the games at all? Or are you just looking down at your pocket calculator, whatever the hell you use with all these stats? No, this is 2-0, and the offense has been hideous. Hideous. That offense, nothing but talent everywhere you look. They can't get a first down. Oh,
wow. This weekend, Angelo, it's Devontae Adams, and it's Puka Nacua. And you got, by the way, the D coordinator for the Rams is Don Shula's nephew,
right?
Or his grandson. It's his grandson. And you've got a really great play calling head coach in Sean McVay, who's one of the most decorated coaches. How do you see that thing this weekend with the Rams?
Yeah,
it's in Philly.
When I make a prediction on your show, I now instantly assume it's going to be horribly wrong. It seems to me, Dan, that what goes around eventually has to come around. And that I don't think Nacua is going to drop a ball.
No.
I don't think Devontae Adams is going to drop a ball. I know they're going to dial up some plays. Vic Fangio can't do it with smoke and mirrors the whole season. I would say it's probably an upset. But that just means Eagles win by 30. Right now, people are calling you FanDuel, DraftKings, all those things, and going, give me the Eagles. Give me I got it. I'm sure they're going to win now.
I want to put you on record for one thing here.
Yeah.
Do you think that Nick Sirianni is the most overrated
Yes.
coach in the history of Philadelphia sports?
No, I don't. I think he's the most overrated coach or manager in the history of American sports. All right. I've never seen a guy keep falling down and landing in clover. Honestly, this guy, I just want to call him and say, give me some lottery numbers. Whatever you're doing. My God, this record you got. And I'm watching this. They can't get a first down with A.J. Brown, Devontae. They got Saquon back there. They got a great offensive line. They don't know what to call. And they're 2-0. Unbelievable.
You are gold right now here. I mean,
don't leave me. You're going to ask me about Andy Reid, right? At some point.
Please, Andy Reid. Yes.
All right, Andy Reid. First of all, for all the bitching I've just done here, understand, once again, in the final moments of that game, when the Eagles had secured it, and it was Chris Jones is out there yelling at Hurts, he's got no yards.
100 yards.
Yeah.
He won the game.
You didn't have 100 yards. And Hurts goes, shut up. We won, you dumbass. No, but Andy Reid, it's, like some people they like to say, watch artwork and a beautiful sunset. To me, true art, I even freeze frame it on my TV, 82 inches. When Andy Reid's got that glum look like, oh no, I lost again. I even put a picture on my website of that moment. That's actually right at the end of the game. I'm 0-2. How did I lose to that idiot on the other side? He didn't know how to call play.
There it is. I see the picture.
But it goes beyond that. This is so Andy Reid made a strategic decision when it was tied to go for it his own territory on 4th down.
He did it twice and he lost the game.
And that cost. Is anybody talking about that?
You know what I brought up?
Where's the dialogue about how he blew the game?
Wait. That? Angelo, thank you. I said this about Andy Reid. Worst play calling game he's had as a Chief. Yep. You go for it on 4th down. You give the Eagles 50 yards to get points. They got those 6. It cost you the game along with the Kelsey drop. That was all on them. They lost that game.
Nothing anywhere. I've been combing the internet. I got time on my hands. What do you want me to do? Seeing who's going to take a shot at him. I got emails. I got a lot of emails saying, "Oh, you must be happy. Andy Reid handed him the game." Well, who else is saying it? Anybody? And one more thing about that friggin' phony. All right. So he's got a couple of players, including Travis Kelce, who should know better, wearing this T-shirt honoring Rashee Rice. All right. And so it was people got upset because Rice is suspended for 6 games because he was in a Lamborghini on a highway racing a Corvette. He was recorded going 117 miles an hour, and he caused a 6-car crash, including serious injuries. All right. And they asked Andy Reid, what did you think about your players honoring this guy who had hurt people and had caused all that, had acted so recklessly? And he went, oh no, the players just they're showing their love for Rashee. That it doesn't go beyond that. Well, it may not go beyond that to you, but I'll guarantee you it went beyond that to the people who were victims of that recklessness. I'll bet it goes beyond that for people that look at a situation and judge it based on what simply should have been done. And first of all, that guy, he's a typical Andy Reid player, constantly enabled by that man. And all I can tell you is, man, I'm living large right now, Dan. The man's lost 2 in a row to the Eagles, and he's doing it to a coach we know is pretty much not very good.
No.
Nick Sirianni. So you know what?
You bring a great point up about, Henry Ruggs killed someone
Yeah.
speeding like that, and
Yeah.
you're celebrating that and you're allowing something like that. To me,
Yeah.
again, when you're speeding, or maybe this goes by some of the things that, again, he's always a guy who's going to believe and trying to give people second chances. Now, I don't know how personal this is with him, and I don't want to go down that lane, but boy, I'll tell you something. I saw those shirts too, and I was like this. Why would you want someone who is going to potentially kill your daughter or my daughter speeding like that,
Exactly.
and you become an issue where, guess what? Dude, you can't celebrate something like that.
Mm.
Henry Ruggs is in prison because of that.
Yeah. And yet they did. And he let them, and he defended them. And that's the real Andy Reid. And all I can keep doing until my last breath, Dan, will be, oh, Andy Reid, he's horrible. I hate him. Oh. That'll be my final words will be one last shot at Andy Reid. Because of all the people I was in the media for 50 years, Dan. Nobody ever got a better ride than Reid. Nobody ever got more positive publicity while basically building a wall up to the fans, giving no information, enabling bad acts like all the domestic abusers and other horses' asses he's put on his roster. And now this Rashee Rice thing. And no one ever takes a shot at him because he's just so funny. You saw him on those ads. Man, what a funny, jolly fat man. It's a typical jolly fat man.
Why did the Philadelphia Eagle, or why did the Philadelphia media, why have they gone soft? Is it because, again, they control the media, and that if you say anything negative towards any of the players like that, Bob Lang's up people's asses and they're calling bosses? Is that Jeffrey Lurie? What is that?
Survival. In a word, survival. Right? Bob Lang called your boss because he didn't like your negative criticism.
That's right.
And all that really appears to have done is encourage you to do more of that.
It has.
To your credit. All right.
It has.
But most of them aren't reacting that way. Most of them are being told the Eagles are king in Philadelphia. Drop to your knees and kiss their ass. And you're seeing that pretty much all the way around. Print, radio, internet. It's all ass kissing. And they're Super Bowl champs. I get it. I mean, but you still, if you're any jackass off the street, Dan, could come in and crow about how great the Eagles are. But if you're really doing your job and you see the first two games and the problems that were right there in front of you, and you ignore them, you're not doing your job.
No.
I mean, you have to do.
What my opinion is, Angelo, on teams like the Eagles, when you're this close to winning a Super Bowl, you're more critical. When you're the Jets and you're a Grand Canyon away, you're going to give them more latitude because that's just the status quo. And you're going to go, well, that's the owner. That's the way they do business. Quarterbacks go to New York and die. And it's been status quo. Nothing's going to change until something changes at the top with the owner. When you're the Eagles and you're this close, you ask the question, why are you giving the keys to a Super Bowl MVP for a guy who sat at the kiddies table 1 year earlier? Now he's at the big table. And you think that guy, because he's your boy, he's going to be, all of a sudden, he's going to be the next North Turner? I don't think it's how it works. And that's an ego thing. And to me, that's being fair. That's not being, you're not being hyperbolic there with that. You're being fair with that. Are you not?
That model already failed. They did it 2 years ago with Brian Johnson.
And they're walking back
already failed
again.
It already failed. They had a down season because they had a guy who didn't know how to be an offensive coordinator because he was promoted by the head coach because he was the head coach's Bobo. And then they saw that didn't work. They brought in Kellen Moore. They won the Super Bowl. Let's go back to the model that failed. And that's what they're doing right now. And they're 2-0. I say it every time because people will go, what the hell's wrong with you? They're 2-0. They're undefeated. I go, yeah, I know it. I just wish I had listened to the radio instead of watching it because I saw how Kevin Patullo shut down the Eagles offense. He shut them down.
Yeah. Hey, Steve Spagnuolo didn't shut him down. It was Kevin Patullo. All right. Now, wait. I got a criticism here for you.
Yep.
Rob Thompson, he won the NL East. I mean, another. We got them all here now. Rob Thompson, your National League East champion. What do you make of that?
Well, I'm going to tell you, I will make a bold prediction about that. This postseason, Rob Thompson will not pull Zach Wheeler too early the way he did last year, because circumstance already took care of that by shutting down Wheeler for the year. All right, Dan, this is the thing. You know, I guess I'm the coach manager killer in Philadelphia. I look forward to watching the playoffs with the Phillies this year to see what new and novel and unique way Rob Thompson can blow it. But mark my words and make sure you have this tape. Rob Thompson will blow it. The Phillies are the most balanced team in baseball. They have more than enough to win a championship right there, with or without Wheeler.
I'll take him over the Dodgers.
Rob Thompson will blow it. This is a bold prediction. Nostradamus back in the game. Rob Thompson will blow it. And by the time he does, if we're lucky, Kevin Patullo will be back counting towels.
Well, I'm going to put two cannolis on the Phillies not winning it because of Nostradamus giving us the insight here. Angelo, make sure folks go to AngeloCataldi.com. He's got a great picture of the mustache there on the front of the cover there. So make sure you guys check it out. Target number 1 is Andy. Target number 2 is Nick. And I'm with you on both guys. Thank you so much, Angelo.
Anytime, Dan. My pleasure, buddy. Take care.